Hello, gentlemen. How are you? If you have received this message, I have decided to do a video request from you guys. I've spoken to some of you. Some of you, I have been trying to reach you and I have not been able to get you. And so I decided to put this in a video so that I could just speak to you directly. I have been commissioned to do a program called the Classy Ladies Series. If you do not know, I've had programs for girls from 6 to 12, 13 to 17, and this one is 18 to 29. Oftentimes we look at the conditions of young women in our society and we continuously see them fall into the same depths and gangs and holes, and we just see them fail in so many ways. And it's because we are the only people group that does not have a rites of passage in place. Other people groups have a rites of passage in place for their girls and their boys. We do not pass down information. So in providing this solution to that problem with the Classy Ladies series, I also wanted to, really, God was pressing upon my heart to give them an experience that some of them have never had. And that's the experience of a girl dad. That's where you guys come in. That's right. You're exposed. Everybody knows it. You're the number one girl dad ever. So, between the 6 of you guys, my goal is to bridge the gap, giving these young ladies an experience with a father-daughter experience. Give them the ability to glean from what it is that your daughters have received naturally or are still receiving, because some of you guys have little ones. And the why is there is an advantage. There's a worldview, and then there's a personal perspective that girls that have dads like you have that other girls that do not have that experience with their fathers do not possess. So, just a heads up, one of you guys, you are a NBA professional. We have another R&B singer that is mainstream. We have a pastor who comes from 4 generations of men. Should be interesting. We also have an international mentorship program entrepreneur who is discipling young men. And then we have a millionaire entrepreneur who has daughters as well. Want to know your perspective. And also a retired father and grandfather who once lived a life out in the streets, and he has some interesting stories. So I want to be able, this is what I want to do. It's going to involve 2 Zooms. One will be an individual Zoom at your convenience. I'll sit down, I'll talk to you about these questions. There's 5 questions, I'll give them to you in a moment. We'll discuss these 5 questions, and it's not going to be live, so I want you to be totally transparent. And then if you think back and say, well, I don't think I want to say that part. Oh, can you say that part without me naming my cousins? Can you take my cousin name out of that? Let me switch this up. So we'll be able to have the flexibility to do that. And then the second one will be with all of you guys together. And I'm so excited because I respect all of you on such a level. It's going to be so much fire in the room. So I'm going to read the questions off to you now, and then I will send the questions out to you individually so you can just take some time and look at them before we actually come together. So the first one is, how important is it to you that your daughter is safe physically, spiritually, financially, and why? Think about it. How important is it to you? A lot of young women don't have that. There's nobody that cares. Nobody giving them the nuggets. Nobody telling them how important they are in these areas. Number 2, what advice do you have or will you give to your daughter, or have you given to your daughter, because some of you have adult daughters, concerning life, concerning her value, and concerning men? Number 3, how did having a daughter change your life? That moment. When I I had my daughter, that moment. Number four, what is it like for you when you see half-naked young girls out in the streets or on television just exposing too much? You know what I'm talking about. What is it like for you when you see abused women? You might see a young lady, she has a black eye, and you know what's going on. Or you see them in line and he's just like, you know what's going on. What is it like for you when you see women giving too much to men? If I see it, I know you see it. They're giving too much. They don't have boundaries, right? Okay, and then what is it like for you when you see sex trafficking? So you see the news articles or you hear stories about it, young women being kidnapped, that type of thing. Then number 5, that's a loaded one. Number 5 is, have you experienced other men being manipulative towards women or setting women up? And if you have, did you do anything about it? Were you a young man and you didn't know what to do about it? Or were you an older man and you felt like, that's not my business? Or did you actually step in? Or did you pull a friend aside at a later date and say, yo, that's not cool? Or was it the peer pressure? I want to know what the peer pressure is for men. Okay. Now, I said 5 questions because you'll choose from these 10. So here's the other 5. Number 6. Name 3 signs you would have young women to look out for. So as you're speaking to your daughters, like, look, first, you're going to look out for this. Second, when you go on a date, you're going to look out for this. Third, when you're doing this, you're going to look out. So 3 things you would just, in general, off the top, what are the first 3 things that pop in your head you would have them to be cautious about? Number 7. What is the number 1 lie that a young man will tell a young woman to get her to sleep with him? Remember, ages 18 to 29. They're off to college. What should she be looking out for? I can tell her, but I want you to tell her. From a father's perspective, what should she be looking for and looking out for? Okay. And then number 8, you're speaking to your daughter and she asks you this question. How will I know that a man loves me with long-term intentions? What was it about you when you found your wife? Yes, all of you are married. What was it about you when you found your wife that made you say, okay, this is the one? They need to know this. Okay. Number 9. I keep saying okay because I don't want to start teaching and preaching. Number 9. How important are women and daughters to their fathers? How important are they? How important should they be? Because you may say how important it is, and she's like, well, ain't nobody. No, this is how it should be. It may not look like that to you, or it may not have been like that in your life, but this is what it should feel like. Remember, we're being a bridge. We want to glean from this moment. Number 10 is, how does your daughter's love make you feel? The love that you're receiving from your daughter, what's that like for you? We see you online. We see you in person. And you can tell the men that love their daughters. Oh, you can tell it. What's that like for you? I want them to have a glimpse to know what that is like and what that would feel like and what that should feel like, right? Because it's going to translate into their future relationships. This is our role playing. This is giving them a real life experience of what it should look like. So the first Zoom will be 5 questions of your choice. And then on the second Zoom, when I bring you all together, we'll deal with the questions that were not answered. And then we'll deal with the more popular questions as well. And we'll just deal with those questions. And the first Zoom should not be longer than an hour. The second Zoom might be an hour and a half to 2. It's 6 of you guys, and with everybody telling their story, I want you to feel comfortable in telling your story. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So, that's what God is calling me to do. He gave me specifically, the 6 of you guys. I hope that you will pray about it. Ask God if this is something you should be doing. This is not something that I'm broadcasting to the world. This is something that I will be in my program for the girls to be able to glean from. With your permission, as we finish this, I will not release anything until I'm going to let you guys see what the final edits are. There may be some nuggets that I may ask you to put in a promotional video that you might be saying, girls are important, and this is why. It may be something that simple, but it's not going to be like a whole interview, but I'm sharing it with the world, because I really do want you guys to be 100% transparent. I want them to have an experience with a father figure that they have not been able to have. Does that make sense? Oh, you guys are doing a great work, I promise you, if you say yes. Some of you have said yes, but I need the combination of all of you together. So I love you so very much. Please reach out to me once you get this. There's going to actually be a link below, and in this link you will be able to go to. The link is going to take you to Calendly. Just schedule your own Zoom, whatever time. Just schedule. I'm going to put the link there. When you click the link, it's going to take you to Calendly, and it's going to be a calendar. You click what day, you click what time. I'll meet you there. I'll give you a call. You're going to get an email that says thank you. I'll meet you there. And then for the second Zoom, I will plan it, because I'm going to need to be able to orchestrate everybody to bring together. Okay? I'm so excited. Oh my God. Okay. I'm so excited. So, I will speak to you guys soon. Love you so much. Mwah. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.